Hello everybody, RegiTime here, and we're going to continue looking at this video I've made on Sky from last week sometime. It's starting to get a little bit out of date now, but we're still not quite halfway through it. I may make this the last video from this particular six tabling session, because the six tabling, many guys have asked for it to just be 4 tables, so I might record myself playing 4 tables tonight, and then the next video in this kind of series will be me 4 tabling, because it is a bit manic, but it is what it is. We'll finish off today and then we'll go from there. If you're enjoying the series and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I have like a mini goal of trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, and you can help me do this by subscribing or by sharing the video. If you have any poker friends or any poker groups that you're in, share it to those poker groups, or by hitting like, hitting subscribe, and just helping the video get more hits on YouTube, which will hopefully introduce me to more new players. As I said before, I've no intention of like monetizing the channel or ever putting adverts on it, but I'd just like the channel to do as well as possible. So if you could subscribe, like, share, comment, all of those things, I'd really appreciate it. So on we go with the video. I'm not entirely sure where we ended the last one. I think it was around this stage, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it'll be right. But the last one of 6, we'll try 4 tables for the next video. I think I've made a mistake there, slight mistake, and again due to 6 tabling on table 1. It's only a small mistake, but I think flicking in the 5 pence to complete, I've just hit the auto fold, and I think I should definitely have clicked the 5 pence in just to complete and see the flop. It's a mistake not to. We're getting like 7 to 1 pre-flop or whatever it was we were getting. Small mistake, but nevertheless still a mistake. I don't think we should be auto-folding the Jack 9 offsuit on the button either. So yeah, this is definitely telling me that 6 tables is too many for me. When I've been playing at home now, when I've been playing since this video, I've been playing 4 or 5, and just that one table makes such a big difference. Being down to 5, I've noticed it's I play significantly better. I've not autopiloted, I've been more aggressive, I've been bluffing more, I've been thin value betting more. It makes an enormous difference. And I think actually adding the 6th table probably reduces my hourly. It certainly reduces my win rate significantly. Not that we can measure my win rate, but the win rate I assume to have, whichever that is, whatever that is, and I don't really know what it is, but I think it's pretty big in these games. I just think that 6th table, it's not so bad when nothing much is going on, but when I'm in a couple of pots at once, I tend to like play much more like weak, tight, and passively. That's for sure. So I know now I play 4 or 5 tables at the most, and sometimes I'm comfortable just playing 3 if there's only 3 good games I can get in. I think the less tables I play, the better my win rate. But it's all about hourly, isn't it? It's like, where do I have the best hourly? And I think it's probably somewhere between 3 and 5 tables. I mean, if I've had 5 tables up and I found a 6th really good table, and I couldn't find a 5th table to lose, then I couldn't find a table out of the 5 to lose, I would then just play 6. But it would need to be an especially good table for me to do that. Some reasonable hands going on at the moment. The King, Queen, the Ace, Jack, and the Ace, Jack. Now, here we are. I think I need to bet this turn on table 6. Our opponent's checked twice now. He's got a pretty capped range. I really doubt he has a king when he checks twice here. I need to be betting this Jack. I don't know whether I'm going to bet it or not, but I need to be betting this Jack. I'd like to see myself bet around the maybe 30 to 50 pence range. Against a green player, probably more in the lines of 50 pence. Against a red player, maybe more in the lines of 30 pence. But we certainly need to be betting. I think 70 is probably way too big. We get the fold though. I thought I was about to check. That's why I paused the video there, because it looked like I was hovering over the check button, which I think would have been quite a poor check. Even though I'm taking my time here, looking back at this hand with the 10-7, given his only bet, like whatever that is, half pot, I don't really like the call that much. Yeah, it's cheap enough that we can call because it's just 1.5 blinds. And I think I would prefer to see us make a raise here to something in the order of maybe 55, something like that, 60. And just put some pressure on if he's just like leading out with a hand like 8-9 or 8-7 or maybe even 8-5, something like that. Just start to put the pressure on, look to try and take it away on future streets if we don't hit, and build a bigger pot if we do hit. Looks like I'm going to call. Think I'd prefer to see a raise. Yeah, now I'm going to go for the raise. We picked up the open ender, so I understand why I'm going for the raise, but I think it gives him a lot of two pairs, a lot of pair plus straight draw. I don't think this raise is going to be that good. Yeah, I think I'd like to see myself raise the flop and now just maybe call this turn, given that we've improved to an open ender. We have position. Yeah, I think we should just call here. I don't think he's going to get too many folds. We need double barrels here. I think he's going to have a lot of either two pairs or pair plus straight draws that aren't that likely to fold. But we did get the fold. Understand why I did it. Don't like it. Certainly wouldn't have done that had I been. Even though it looks like I'm taking my time, my mind's still racing. So it looks like, oh, he took his time there and he's come up with a bad decision. I have took my time and I have come up with a bad decision, but it's because my mind isn't always like, it's not processing everything quickly enough because I'm trying to do other things at once, which is why I don't think 6 tabling's for me. And we just keep calling down here with the 2 10s on table 3 because pot odds. On table 2, let's go back and see how the hand's gone down, because it looks like another one that I'm not playing too great. So we've raised pre-flop and then we've just c-bet that board. I don't hate it, it's pretty dry. He min bets the turn. We need to be raising here, I think, or do we need to be raising? I mean, I guess we can just call because we might have the best hand. We're getting us to suck out on like all his one pair type stuff that isn't an ace. But I still think I prefer to see myself raise here to like 80 or 90 with a view to blasting the river. It doesn't look very much like he has an ace, does it, when he uses that sizing and takes this line? What am I going to do? I've hovered over everything. I need to come to the raise decision. No, we didn't do it. We didn't get the raise done. And now we just have to fold, of course. It looks like the raise might not have worked after all, or maybe he's just hit us straight. But yeah, I'm quite upset's the wrong word. Disappointed with my level of play in this video. Like over the course of the 3 sessions. I don't think I've played like terribly, but I've played weak and I've played tight and I've played kind of stationary versus small bets. I just haven't done very much. I've just been kind of taking the easiest decision a lot of the time and just generally not playing that well. And it's what I see. I'm going to pause the video. We talk about this for a minute. I think it's important. It's what I see a lot of other players doing when I'm playing like between like 3 to 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables, and I can really pay attention. And I just see lots of players who are probably quite good at poker just making like really moderate decisions, and then I'll search them and they'll be playing 6, 8, 10, 11 tables. I think this is the biggest problem that lots and lots of the Sky regulars have, is that they get like a dog with two dicks. You see like fish at every table and they want to be at every table, and some tables just aren't worth being at. The tables where there's 4 regulars and 1 fish and then you join that, that's a good table if you're on PokerStars. It's a good table if you're on 888. It's not a good table if you're on Sky. And that fighting over all these like small tables, and they're adding lots and lots of volume, but they're vastly reducing the win rate. Yeah, they're probably going to end up getting priority or whatever it's called on Sky and doing a bit better that way. But it just prevents them from playing like what I would consider anywhere near good poker. And there's lots of like Sky regulars who I think are probably very good at poker, and I like trolling them in videos because I know they watch them and I like teasing them. But there's lots of Sky regs that are actually pretty good. But when they're playing 4 tables, when I see them when they're playing 4 or 5 tables, they're playing much better than I see them when they're playing 6 or 7 tables. And it just tells me the same as what I've learned about myself on this game, that their autopilot game isn't that good, and it's really hard to have a good autopilot game. So if you are playing whatever site you're playing on, be it Sky or wherever, I don't care where you're playing, I've talked about it before in other videos, just consider dropping some tables and focusing on improving the quality of your play. If you're someone who's struggling to grow your bankroll, you're always like hovering around, you have big upswings, big downswings, always kind of hover around the same kind of bankroll, never really move on, do consider like dropping tables, focusing more, and like aggressively try to increase your win rate rather than like passively trying to increase your hourly by adding more tables. I would strongly consider recommending you do. Well, I would strongly consider doing that if I was you guys. It's certainly what I'm going to actually be doing to myself after watching this video. Don't hate this raise on table 3, but I think we can just call 2. We do get to put pressure on like ace-x with no spade. We do have a pair and a flush draw. I get all of that. If we had just an ace-queen offsuit with like a blue and a green one, we're putting quite a bit of pressure in. But don't necessarily expect someone to fold just to 1 raise either, which means we're going to have to barrel a lot of turns. I think raising's fine. I think it's better in position than out of position with this type of hand. But I think calling's fine too. Oh, we turn the nuts, so what do we care? Massively squeezed on table. That is a big squeeze by Whoopsie. That's 18 blinds to squeeze. That's way too big. Let's just talk about that for a moment. As Whoopsie is someone who I know plays a lot of tables, and he's a player that I've got a lot of respect for. He's a decent, tight, aggressive player. But I believe if Whoopsie plays a few tables, if Whoopsie was 1 tabling here, he would not choose his sizing, and presumably he's just probably clicked the pot button and that's what it's come out at. I could be wrong, but looks like it's kind of pot size bet, maybe with a bit of extra meat on it. I'm not sure. I don't believe he'd choose that size. I think he'd be more around the 140, 150 mark there. And maybe he just wants a bunch of folds and he's choosing 180. But again, I think it's just something where if he wasn't playing so many tables, I think he'd possibly choose a smaller sizing. And it's a kind of mistake that we see quite a lot. It's like one of the first things that, some of the things that go when you start playing too many tables is your bet sizing becomes much worse. It's just much easier to click pot, half pot, 3/4 pot, not put thought into it, and your frequencies change quite a lot too. You may be someone who 3-bets more, maybe you 3-bet less, but you play less optimally, that's for sure. It's a splendid cup of tea I just made myself, by the way. Absolutely splendid. I've had some water problems at home. The water's not been tasting too clever, so I've got a big 5-litre bottle of mineral water that I'm using to boil up, and it's making some splendid cups of tea. And Bob is raising the Jack Queen here. Happy to get it in against Turkey Turd and re-evaluate should Rebel Tom put some aggression in. Interesting spot here against Kinger. He's 3-bet to 11 blinds. We've 4x'd it though, so that the 11x isn't as big in the fact we 4x'd it. Something like the fold. I think 8-jack's just a little bit too weak versus this sizing of 11 blinds, especially as we're only starting to put 100 blinds deep. If this was, if we were like 150 blinds deep, I think I would call here. Or if this hand was Jack 10 suited or 10-9 suited or something like that, I think I would maybe call. I think the Jack 8 is just a little bit too weak. It just flops too many gut shots and things and not enough like pure open then straight draws and what have you. Excuse me. So I think I'm going to like the fold here, but slightly smaller bet or a slightly more connected hand, I think I probably would have gone with the call. Oh, I haven't put the playback up faster. I thought things were a bit slower than usual and not particularly interesting. There we are. Now we're a bit faster. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, that's the second silent spot. I thought we had 2 bits of dead air during the video, and it's because we've not been going as fast. Again, we've got this Christ character just going with the min bets. Not really sure what that's all about, but while they're just making min bets, we're just going to be clicking call, I guess. Three bet the King Queen versus the green player on table 4. We get a decent flop. We cut. We make a C bet, and we get to this turn. We turn 2 pairs. He can have worse 2 pairs. He can have draws. The Queen could have given like a Queen 10 type hand a pair. Ace Queen obviously now has a pair. I'd like to see myself just jam this river, given that we've got an SPR of about 1.25. I think this turn should definitely be a shove. It's kind of the spots like this, and it's a lot of players will, like when we review hands, they'll get in these spots where they got awkward SPRs on the turn, and they'll end up just making some silly bet size like 130 or 150 or something, or maybe £2, and I think we're just missing tons and tons of value when we do that. Yeah, we bet £2, we get a call from whatever, from like Jack 9 or Jack 10 or something like that. But then there's like lots of really shitty turn cards, so it's either kill our hand or kill our action. And it's called the flop, and the Queen kind of fits in with part of his flop calling range. So we can expect to sometimes get paid on like a slightly over pot sized bet. If he had £4.80 left here, we would have no problem jamming. If he had £5.50, we'd have no problems jamming. If he had £6, we'd have no problem jamming. I don't think the extra 197 makes a big difference in terms of the hands he's calling with, the hands he's falling with versus like a £4.80 bet. So I'd like to see myself jam here. Whether I do or not, who knows? But I'd like to see myself jam here. No, and I'm going for the shit bet size, which I would never dream of doing. I really think this is a really bad bet size for me. I should just go all in here, in my opinion. We could bet more weird bluffs, I guess. Not that he's probably going to be thinking that way. He's going to be thinking about his own hand, but I guess we can rep some kind of heart draw or something. Who knows? I'm not really that bothered about what I'm going to rep in this spot versus the green tag player. I'm just bothered about getting value. And if a 10 comes on the river, or a 9, or an ace, or a jack, or a red one, like, there's lots of bad cards for us that aren't that great. So I'd prefer to simply just stick it in there. Not happy with that sizing at all. As it happens, we fill up on the river, so who cares? But if he doesn't call now, then we've maybe lost potentially 5-17. And he did just fold. I think we could have got it all on the turn there. So I'm really not that happy with my turn bet sizing. I think I just need to shove the turn. It's really quite bad of me. I've not played particularly well across this whole series. But I'm not going to shy away from it because it is helping me. It's validating my point that mass tabling isn't great for most of us. It certainly isn't good for me, even though many of you wouldn't class 6 tables as mass tabling. Still, it just doesn't work out too well for many players. It certainly doesn't work out too well for me because I think I'm leaving money on the table when I'm doing it. On the side note, we have Kinga abusing me as he usually does. Although, to be fair, the last few days he's pretty much ignored me. I tend not to respond to him at all in the comments. I actually told him he was blocked. He was not blocked, but I told him he was because just couldn't be asked dealing with him. Yeah, doesn't seem like he's a particularly pleasant man, but whatever. He usually just starts doing it when he's lost a big pot somewhere. Isabel end. What can we do about it? Not a lot. Crack on. For any of you out there who are playing Sky, if you ever get the chance to slow roll Kinga, please do it. Please slow roll him, and then please inform me in the comment section of any video, and I'll give as many thumbs up as I possibly can to it. I might make it my duty to start slow rolling him anyway, and I don't like slow rolling people, but nevertheless, as you can see, he's just an unpleasant fuckwit. So yeah, I'm going to start slow rolling the crap out of him, I think. And I'd like you guys to as well. Fuck him. Fuck Kinga. And that's what I'm going to say. I know that I think it's JT Diamond, Will. He's been having a lot of fun stacking the shit out of Kinga lately. He's been sending me messages in Skype. Saying some of that ridiculously bad ranges he's been getting it in pre against him with, like middle pocket pairs, low pocket pairs, ace jack, that sort of shit. He's just a fucking spew monkey, but he don't understand it. He just thinks because he's being aggressive and putting people in tough spots, sometimes it makes him a good player. It doesn't, of course, and I love hearing stories about Kinga being felted. So any stories you have if you're a Sky Reg of felting poker Kinga, please share them with me. Please get screenshots, share them with me in the Facebook group or wherever, and I'd very much appreciate seeing them. Did I just fold King Jack for a 2.5x on table 1? Have I gone back far enough? Have I gone back too far? I've gone back far. Fuck it, doesn't matter. Don't think it. Oh, actually, it's a 10 table, so it probably wasn't a 2.5x. Probably a 5x, more like. So we have an open-ender in a multi-way pot on table 4. Given there's 2 fish in the pot, I think we can go lots of ways with this. We can go for a check call if the bet's small enough. We can go for a check raise if Wubbsy bets, and then maybe cash piece folds. Or we can even lead out here. And I like all 3 plays. If we do lead out here, Wubbsy's in a tough spot. He can't really raise us with very much, particularly if like Rob Job calls. He's going to need like 2 pair plus. He can't just like raise us with aces here. Well, he can, but I don't think it'd be a great play. Even though against our exact hand here, it would be a good play. My donking range on this board's going to be probably pocket 3s, jack 10, that type of thing. It's going to be very narrow, very nutted, with some like strong draws in there too. And obviously the only strong draw here is the open ender. Perhaps not do it with his exact hand, but if we had say some kind of backdoor flush draw going on too, if there was like if the jack or the 10 was red, I think I'll get on board with donking here a lot, because there's going to be tons of good turn cards to barrel. As it happens, I don't think I should, just because our hand's pretty strong, but our draw's pretty strong, but maybe not quite strong enough to just try donking with. But if I had a set of 3s here or a jack 10, I would donk for sure in a multi-way pot. And a donk bet, for those of you who don't know, is just like leading out into the pre-flop raiser, because this happens a lot. It's just like, well, Wubbsy checks through. The whole hand doesn't check through, but it will happen a lot where these boards will check through, then a useless 8 will roll off on the turn, and you've kind of lost your opportunity to win the pot. It's cash beast here with 2 overs and an open ender. Looks like we're going to raise. I don't mind that. I don't mind just raising and getting it in versus cash beast here for his 40 blinds. I mean, I don't think it can be terrible. I think it's going to be better than calling for sure. Try and get the other 2 guys out the pot, get heads up against one opponent. And obviously our equity is going to improve when we get it all in against one player, and it's like calling in a multi-way pot. We bink it. Happy days. Christ, was that me opening the 7th table? I was losing the plot, wasn't I? I was absolutely losing the plot. I mean, I'm not coping very well with this 6th, and I'm opening a 7th. It must have been a good one for me to want to open it. Must have been a good one. Maybe I end up getting rid of one in a moment, who knows. But yeah, opening a 7th table when I'm already not coping that well with 6 seems insane. Right, let's have a look what King is up to here, because he's done something weird. Let's see what's going on. So we've isolated Ryan's limp to 4x with ace 7 suited. King has called. Ryan's back shoved. I think our hand is too strong to fold, but way too weak to kind of like try and re-isolate with. I mean, I guess we could just make it like £4 here just to try and make King a fold. All kinds of stuff like King, Queen, pocket pair, like major pocket pairs, that type of thing. In actual fact, I think I would prefer to see myself make it 4x. At first I was thinking no, but now there's some extra dead money in there. If we just make it £4 here, just to try and make King a fold pretty much everything. I don't think he ever has like aces, kings, queens, ace, king. I think he just 3-bets them constantly versus me in these spot. Well, not versus me, just in general. He's going to 3-bet them in that spot. So yeah, I think Poker Kinger's range is kind of capped. Yeah, I'd prefer to see him just make this £4, get King to fold, and then just whatever, fight over the extra, whatever is in the pot, the extra dead money at 90 pence that Kinger and the blinds are putting. Yeah, so I think making this £4 play. We didn't. We just called. King decides to just min bet there, which is weird. We obviously call. We turn the 7, and he makes it much bigger on the turn. God knows, I'm presuming this was some kind of elaborate, shitty trap on the flop. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he's just messing around. Who knows? But obviously we just don't call here. We just fold and see what the hell he's doing it with. Quads. Wow. So he just min bets quads. He doesn't know me at all well. If he thinks I'm going to go for it versus a regular, fall for the min bet, 3 bet, which is obviously what he was probably going for, then yeah, no idea what he's doing there. It's shit, but no idea what he's doing it or why he's doing it, but whatever. And then he just bombs the turn. Who knows? Who knows what he's trying to achieve there, but it's clearly fucking ridiculous. He's just incessantly aggressive pre-flop his kinger, and then consistently not great post-flop. In fact, I'd go as far as saying really quite bad post-flop. It's taken me a while to figure him out, because at first I thought he was quite good. Now I think he's less good, and I think he's just like a pre-flop warrior with lots and lots of pretty big post-flop problems that must hold him back. I take quite a lot of pleasure in seeing him being unable to reload sometimes too, because he needles lots of people, not just me, he needles other people too. And then he just clearly is inadequately rolled for the games. Sometimes he's got 12 tables up, sometimes he's got 6 and he's not reloading. His bankroll must be more fragile than the most fragile Chinese artifacts you could wish to find. Which is a really shit analogy, but whatever. Aha, right, so we have a hand here against Will. I think we'll end on this one. 33 minutes. Will's a player that I know, he's a player that I work with. I've been working with recently. We don't communicate when we're at the tables, of course. I can say with complete sincerity, and anyone who's worked with me on Skype will back this up. I never even have Skype open when I'm playing. I'm just completely focused on my tables. I don't need the distractions. I don't want the distractions. I just never have it open. So here we are in a hand against one of the people I'm working with, Will. Hopefully this will demonstrate my integrity, who knows. So we call out a position. I'm not that impressed when we get 3-bet by Will. I think he's going to have a strong hand a lot of the time. We've opened under the gun, he's 3-bet me. I'm presuming he's not going to be getting out of line versus me. Maybe he is, who knows. But I'm presuming that he isn't. So at the moment I'm thinking, we might be in rough shape here. We're certainly not going to want to 4-bet and get it in, because I don't think we can get it in against a good range at all. I mean, Jacks is clearly too strong to fold. So we call and we just bing top set on the driest board ever. And I'd rather have second set here or even bottom set, because when we have top set, what can they have? You've got to just hope he has the overpair and he just decides to go up his entire stack. But it's a lot harder to get paid with top set than it is with middle set. He does go for the c-bet. There's absolutely no reason to raise here whatsoever. I think we just call and then look to maybe think about check raising the turn. So we need to check raise this turn now, because they're starting to make some draws, and it's not so much that I think we're going to get beat by the draws, but it's like we're going to miss value from them. If we don't check raise this turn, and then say a 10 peels off on the river, or a diamond peels off on the river, or a queen peels off on the river, and then there's a king and an ace, which isn't great for us. There's just lots of rivers that I'm not going to enjoy. I think we need to check here and hopefully get a raise in. And because of Will's sizing, I think all-in's the only real option here. If I check raise to, say, 12 here, it's the same thing, isn't it? We're leaving 8 behind, really. And I guess this way we get to have, some ace queen of diamonds, king queen of diamonds, that type of stuff, ace x of diamonds, that we can do this with too, that I'd want to go all in with for sure. So we go all in. And We're rooting for Will to call, of course. And I think he gets away from memory. I don't recall stacking him. Yeah, he gets away. And we've not even talked about that hand because I've not talked to Will since this video, I don't think. So there you go, Will. If that hand was bugging you, you now know. You now know what was going on, sir. There's still some hands going on. We're not going to end the video. We'll end the video when we get to nothing left to talk about because we have the queens on table 4. We have the 10-8 here, which is a nothing kind of pot. And we have the 9s here. So we'll deal with these hands. And the queens, mandatory c-bet on this board texture. And the 9s in a multi-way pot, probably going to be a check something. And I think we should lead the turn now with the 9s. That's a really bad turn card on the queens table. We just need to be checking back this turn card. We're going to get check raised a ton by 2 pairs, by flushes. I think King might even be bad enough to check raise jacks and 10s here with a heart. And I just wouldn't know what to do versus a raise. So I think I'd like to see myself checking this turn back. And then just calling the river. If he bets, if he doesn't bet small the river myself. I think I need to bet like £2 here now just to get value from all these pocket pairs. Hope I don't check back, that'd be way too weak. And on that river on table 1, where we were called in 2 spots, probably just give up and check and hope to win a showdown. Come on, Rich, you get that £2 in 260, getting a little bit on the large side, but I think it's fine. And we need to fold the 9s, I think. And we do. So, yeah. Oh, now we've got the ace king of diamonds. Let's see how that goes. I don't want to leave you guys thinking, what the fuck happened in that hand? Once we've got nothing going on, we'll end the video because it's already going longer than I wanted it to now. So we're going to put the cold 4-bet in with the ace king of diamonds. 23 blinds. I'm fine with the sizing. And we just take it down. So we're going to pause the video before we see something else that makes us want to continue. Yes, so yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing me 6 table. I certainly am not happy with how I played during a lot of this video. I think I played less than okay, but I got away with it. Just to give you the end results, by the time we got to the end of the video, I made like £30 odd on the session. So we're going to miss some of the hands where I got back in front on the session, and some of the hands that maybe I played better, or maybe I just ran better, who knows. But what I've definitely learned from this video is that I'm not good enough at 6 tabling on Sky. I think I can 6 table on Unibet, I can 6 table on PokerStars, 888, things like that, where you have a time bank and you have slightly better software. But on Sky, there's no time bank. I think you have like whatever it is, a 20-second time bank. I don't even know, but it's not very much. And there's no extensions. So when you're in spots, you've got to think quickly. There's no, right, hit your time bank, do a few folds, come back and think about it. It's just, fuck me, I've got to make a decision, I've got to make it quick. And I'm clearly not as good at that as I'd like to be, which kind of means I've not learned a lot of stuff to the level of unconscious competence that I thought I had it at. I've got a lot of stuff at conscious competence, not enough at unconscious competence. So I've got 2 options: play less tables and just be consciously competent all the time, or learn stuff more and more and more to the level of unconscious competence. But it's really hard to get all the stuff you need to get all to the level of unconscious competence. And if you don't know what unconscious competence and conscious competence is, do go ahead and buy the Jared Tendler Mental Game of Poker book. It's the best purchase you make all year. In a poker sense, it's brilliant. Can't go into it now. Don't really want to steal his work. Go and buy his book. But my autopilot game isn't good enough. And I think rather than autopilot at 6 tables, I'm better like being focused at 4 tables and hopefully just playing my best poker more often, which will enable me to, start maybe playing some 50-0 again. I've been playing mostly, in this video we played 10 and 20-0, but I've been playing mostly 20 and 30-0 since I come back. Sky have taken the 40-0 tables away, which is a bit of a pisser, because they used to be quite good tables. Don't know why they've taken them out, but they have taken them out. But my intention, or my goal, or whatever, would be to, if I remain on Sky, which who knows with me, this time next week I might be back on PokerStars, who knows, but if I remain on Sky, I'd like to get back to playing the 50-0 games. To do that, I need to have a bit more confidence, because I know those games are a lot tougher, and I need to be selective with them, because I'm not going to play 50-0 just for the sake of it. My main goal is play with lots of these, lots of green. And if I have to play 10 and 20 now to play with lots of green players, I guess that's what I'll do. If I can play 30 now, play lots of green. If I see green at 50, I want to go and play there. But my game needs to be in a spot where it's going to be good enough to at least defend myself against the better regulars at 50 now. No point playing with a lot of green players if what you're making from then you're giving straight back to the best regulars. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll record a session later today or tomorrow sometime of me 4 tabling, and then we're going to continue with this style of video because I quite like it, but it's going to be 4 tabling rather than 6 tabling. So again, if you got this far in the video, congratulations. I wouldn't necessarily want to listen to me for 41 minutes. Please do hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and just help me grow the channel. Thanks very much, and bye for now.